everyone. Come with me to get some work done. Let's go. Are you in matric and I'm making your way to varsity? Listen up. Big sister is gonna give you some tips. Okay? Okay. And also congratulations for making it thus far. Don't mind me holding a cup. It is not empty. It actually has tea. So I'm drinking ginger tea. Yeah. So you can also just make your tea and like let's just chill. Yeah, it doesn't have to be hectic. By the way, it doesn't have to be hectic. Varsity can actually be a good experience for you guys. It really can. So yeah. So let's just start off. I'm gonna be focusing on 3 main areas. And obviously if there are other areas that I'm missing, I'm sure you'll also get advice here and there before you go to varsity. So don't stress. But right now, I'm just gonna give you some 3 main areas to just focus on, or rather look into. Yeah, now. So number one, the eerste dinge is your friendskappe, your friendships. Hopefully that's correct in Afrikaans. Before people are like, yeah, which one is that one? Which language? Your friendships. Maybe you're like, what do you mean with friendships? I know sometimes when you come to varsity, maybe some people can even relate to this. When you come to varsity, you may sometimes feel like, I'm not too sure. Like, when it comes to friends, I don't know who I want to be friends with, all of that. Obviously, give yourself grace and also be patient with yourself because you will be meeting new people. And so this is a great way to also get out of your comfort zone. Maybe feel like always to yourself. Like, you don't always talk to people a lot. Maybe like just try maybe for varsity. Maybe for like one of the semesters, just to be like, you know what, I'm just gonna go to someone and I'm just gonna greet them. We're gonna start a conversation, because a lot of the times that's where many friendships even start. Like literally, because someone went to someone, said hello, or maybe they were like, friend, I wasn't in class, like what did I miss? Or even maybe they were like, what, you studied the same thing? Okay, let's go out, let's study, let's become study partners. Okay, yeah. So maybe that's something you can look into, especially if you like, I'm like, I don't really like talk to a lot of people, maybe just to encourage you that you can try, for varsity, for one of the semesters, even for your varsity experience, just try, maybe learning to also get out of your comfort zone, that, what, it's okay, like, doesn't matter the response, but at least I got out of my comfort zone, and that's also gonna help you more, even in the future. And then also, another thing is, what do you look for in friendships? Maybe right now you're like, I really want someone who's a Christian because I'm a believer. So that's the type of friendships I would like to form. And that's great. And how will you know if someone is a believer? Through conversations with them. So it really links back to that point that I made. Getting out of your comfort zone, just be like, hey dude, hi, I'm Nomatimba. Nice to meet you. I am Ashley. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too. Can we be friends? Sure, why not? Obviously, it's not always like that. but definitely just looking out for like, what do I look for in a friend? I want them to be a Christian, yes. And then also, what are your expectations when it comes to friendships? Maybe you're like, I really want someone who's going to put in the same effort that I'm going to put in a friendship. So like, efforts should be mutual. You understand what I'm saying? And also communication, because I value communication so much. I would really love if the person also, values communication. And all of these things you will find out through conversations, having conversations with people, starting conversations with people, and also something I want to encourage you also. Maybe this might link to the next one. I'm going to mention it. But something I also want to encourage you to do, especially if you're going to be like a first year and stuff in varsity, please attend your universities or your residences events, especially as a first year. It can really help you also like get to know people, so you don't feel like I'm alone in this whole thing. You will obviously meet other first years. So please, if they're like, guys, as first years, maybe we partake in this, try obviously maybe also partake in those things. Obviously there are some things you also see for yourself like, okay, this is really not my cup of tea, maybe this is really not my cup of tea, some events. And because I know, especially with my experience as a first year, there were many first year or events that we had to attend as like first years, and it really involved like first years, so you didn't have to worry about like, oh, there's all other older people and stuff. Majority of the times it was like first year like events. So that was also quite nice, and that was a nice experience to even get to know people, so and without further ado, let's get to the next one. So the second one is your studies. My brother, my sister, you accepted the study offer. I'm just joking. I don't know if you guys have seen that video. So you are here to study. You are here to study. Sorry for that sound. You are here to study. So please study. Obviously you may find even at times that your study methods are gonna change. So for me, for example, when I was in high school, I used to write a lot of notes, and before writing a test I would just write a lot of notes and study off those notes. But then when I came to varsity, and I noticed also because the workload increased, I was like, this is not realistic for me. It's wasting too much of my time. So obviously I had to look into other study methods. There was a point where I was using, I think, PowerPoint slides, and I noticed this is not going to really work for me. And then there was a point where I noticed that preparing before class is really helpful for me, and also revising the work also is quite helpful for me to do. So obviously you will also see like, okay, what study methods work for me, and all of those things, all of those things. And I think there was even a point where I was doing like a voice recording of some of the content I was going through, just to like, so obviously, like I'm saying, you'll also find your way around it. Like, okay, if this is not working, then and also if you are struggling, I don't know about other universities, like what they call them, but for us, we have faculty student advisors. So they help you with your time management and all of that, and adapting to like varsity life in a way. So you can also ask them and be like, ma'am, sir, I really don't understand, And also, guys, balance is important. Yes, you are here to study, and it also is important that you balance it out. That yes, as you are studying, maybe set some time aside for like spending time with your friends. Maybe you guys can go to the mall, watch a movie, all of those good stuff, It's important to have a balance, because at times it can feel like if I'm just focused on studies, at times it can feel overwhelming, because you're like, that's all I'm doing. So because with me, I remember even in my first year, like I said, it is a conversation. I'm your big sister right now. Okay. So for this moment, for me, also, you don't have to copy me, but for me, like in my first year and my second year, I was in a cappella. So I was doing a cappella, and I really enjoyed that. I loved that, because I'm like, I'm able to like study and also like look forward to a cappella. It was amazing. I loved it. And in my final year, I joined like this committee that organizes these student events. So that was also really nice. So you understand where I'm going with this. So balance is also important. Also finding out what will work for you, and also attend your tutorials. Attend your tutorials. Ask your lecturer questions if you don't understand, and also do your best to attend your classes consistently. It's gonna help you quite a lot actually. And then lastly, just to wrap it up here, your relationship with God is also important. So it is important that you cultivate your own relationship with God. You read the word, you spend time in the word, you spend time in prayer, you spend time in worship, all of those things. And also plugging yourself in a church. I know some of us, maybe let's say there was a church you were attending back at home, and maybe like where you're going like for varsity, there's also like, it's like the same church but just different branch, if you get what I'm saying. Maybe you can attend that one, or maybe like I really just want to look for my own church. There's a certain church that I'm looking for, and you know, all of that. You know, you can look around. Obviously there are many churches a lot of the times around the varsity areas. Look around and then plug yourself into a church, because that can also help you with your relationship with God, getting to know God, getting to know people, you know, and it can also help you in growing as a person. Because sometimes you may think, not even think, but sometimes you may even feel like, you know what, I want to serve here at church, you know. And obviously you don't have to rush that at all, but yeah, it is important that you still cultivate your relationship with God. And yeah, and I'm just gonna share a bit from my side, what I did in my undergrad. So in my undergrad, a lot of times I'd have like a not time schedule, but like a schedule, and at times I'll put, okay, from this time to this time is my time with God, from like 3:30 to 4:30 is my time with God. I'm not saying do it that way, I'm just telling you what worked for me, and that really helped me quite a lot. It helped me to remain disciplined in my relationship with Christ. So yeah, so you know, so like you'll obviously figure out what works for you, but also don't be scared to ask for help. Please, you're not meant to also do this varsity life alone. There are people actually who care in varsity, and people that you can reach out to. Just email your lecturer, contact maybe your faculty student advisor, like I said, yeah, and get all the help that you need to make it their best experience, you know. So yeah, so it's over now. Yeah, and I hope that you guys did get some things from this video, this part of the video. And also, if you have anything else to add, obviously do add it onto the comment section, that maybe some matrics can look out for, you know. And don't rush into it. That would be my advice. Don't rush into it. Get to know yourself, you know, get to know also the person that you would like to be in a relationship with. Get to know people. Don't rush into it, man. Don't rush into it. And definitely invite the Holy Spirit, invite God in that journey. And also seek wise counsel. Don't do it alone. Seek wise counsel. But yeah, I don't have a lot to say on that one. Yeah, so from your big sister. So yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed this part of the video and enjoyed the rest of the video, and I hope you guys stay blessed.